Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity with me, Cornish-Knight. Now, for the few of you who are watching this series at present, if you go to look for it on Steam, you will no longer find it on the main Pillars of Eternity channel, partly due to the fact that they have taken it off. It just happens from time to time, it can't be helped. So we still press on. I'm not feeling fantastic today, folks, so we're going to have a slightly shorter episode. So we won't mess about, we're going to dive right in. Right. Bright Hall is completed, so Restore Bright Hall allow you to rest there. Other upgrades can unlock rest bonuses for it. Right. So we can
just say the word.
Get that done. We do need to camp. Yeah, to be honest. Because a lot of my guys and girls were badly hurt, so we've got to camp here. Get her health back.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sneak up on you. Well, you seemed preoccupied.
You just begin to stretch and soothe the aches from your body when you feel a luff over your shoulder. He looks away quickly when you notice him kneading his hands into squirming fist. You seem preoccupied, Luff.
Mad old watches, a Coltonaut trail. What's not to worry about? I suppose I've just noticed you acting a little, unusual lately. Talking to people who aren't there, remembering flashbacks of your previous life. I just want to make sure you're doing all right.
Perception 16, we can't do that. Yes, I am. I guess I don't know what to make of this either. You mutter.
Then I'm in good company. I should let you rest. It looks like we'll have another full day tomorrow.
That affected me anyway. Nah, honest was still the same, which was something. I am brutally honest.
I'll take a look.
Right, let's stealth. It's going to be this room, and this room is going to have unlocked lighthouse key. Yeah, it's going to have the Banshee in it. We all know it's going to have the Banshee in it.
Ready, Watcher.
Because that's the only thing that would be in here that would kick our heads in. Right, let's go. The character's endurance reaches 0, the character's knocked out, but we'll get full endurance. Yep, that's a Banshee. Shrieking sobs pierce your ears and rattle the musty rafters of the lighthouse. They emanate from a spectral figure of a woman hovering in the middle of the room. Each heave of her shoulders unleashes another hair-raising wail. Get closer. As you approach, the spirit cry is taken on a threatening edge. As the swirling mist around her lace ripples with movement, the black pits of her eyes level and momentary with yours. Back away. Is there anything in the room?
Just say the word.
Lilith. A logbook. And we have someone that can pick that just. Yeah.
That's settled.
And that's Jade of the Wild Waters. Jack of the Wild Waters. Kakuma was a famed Orma swashbuckler and original wearer of this garment. She sailed from her homeland of Ratai to the infamous Deadfire Archipelago. There she escorted merchants and passenger ships through pirate-infested waters. Among her most frequent clients was the Nashtaki dwarves, who ventured to the continent to the north on both personal and tribal sojourns. Her fair dealings, bravery in combat, and skill at sea made Kamua a loved and respected figure in the archipelago amongst the Nasataki. So what does it give us? Damage reduction and survival actually is really nice. It's a light armor as well. So who would it benefit to have? It might benefit him actually. Survival and damage reduction. because it's the same as the fine piece of armor he's got on. Actually, it's better overall. So he'll have that. And we'll dump that in there. So what is the logbook, was it? Who had the logbook? Someone had the logbook. Or did we leave the logbook? There we go, logbook. The logbook expels a thick plume of dust. 6 Fornoton 2672 foggy portfall 158 days since sighting the Red Dream. 12 of Fornoton 2672 heavy rains. 2 fishing vessels at sea. 164 days since sighting the Red Dream. The first of Turaton 2672 dark clouds. Adrian sips on the horizon. 173 days since sighting of the Red Dream. Adium, Addendum, the Wailing Banshee. Okay. Deal with the Glen Gelwell. A banshee, or what locals refer to as a Glengower, wails and screams from the 3rd floor of the lighthouse. It hasn't attacked me yet, but I need to get rid of it or one way or the other before the tower is safe near its workers. The last lightkeeper kept a log, seemingly in the final days of the War of Defiance. The person who was tracking the appearance of the ship called the Red Dream, they might know more about it.
Yeah.
Someone's dead here. Someone's murdered them. Because like she was in, like if she was at the top, why did she drown if there's no water damage? The true story of the living land. Because she's
Just say the word.
She's dead. Lilith Saul. This cloak feels as light and as easy to forget. You're wearing it. The unmistakable scent of the sea breeze. Cool and salty wafts from the fabric, though moth-eaten and ragged around the edges. It keeps the chill at bay. The faded colours seem to blend into its surroundings. You found this in the lighthouse of Ondra's gift. The tower had been uninhabited for a century and a half, and the last occupant, the lighthouse keeper, supposedly died there when the Adrians invaded. It was rumoured that her spirit haunted the tower still, watching for ships on the horizon. Okay, what does she have on? Neck. 15 defense when disengaging. He can have the gifts and aging because he's the cleric. And that's a crummy cloak. We don't want to give him a crummy cloak.
Just say the word.
We can try and, like... The thing is, it looks like she was murdered because her body's up here. I mean, it looks like... The sea wouldn't have got this high, so it looks like someone's come up here and murdered her and then covered it up. I mean, that's what my thinking is that it's come up here, murdered her, and then it's like, oh no, the lighthouse keeper, yeah, she died, yeah, like, didn't you hear, like, when this section of the town flooded, it horribly drowned her. One target, yep, target attack, chance, blah blah blah. But I probably won't get as much experience.
Greetings.
Have you heard of the Red Dream? Who hasn't? The ship's been running raids for decades now. Used to stop in New Hemor laden with spoils from Rutai traders. These days, I hear she spends most of her time prowling the Deadfire Archipelago. Near points to a ship anchored in the distance. That's her when she's at port. Her captain, an elf named Marlwith takes her sore leave over at the Charred Barrel in Barrackbury. Believe it or not, she likes her creature comfort. She shakes her head. That's what I'm talking about. When a pirate... That's what I'm talking about. When a pirate won't even set foot in a tavern on this side of town, it's a high time for a new establishment. Right.
Just say the word.
So... First fires... We'll speed up the thing, get them over here. Once they're over here, we'll go to the other inn, because I know the captain in question that they're talking about, because I saw her there last time we were there. We'll deal with the quest, we'll see what's going on, probably see what's like... If she's an elf, I believe elves in this setting can live a long time. So... yeah, take us 12 minutes. No, probably super sadistic with this character. I mean, like, I'm ruthless and cruel, but I'm not... Oh, I'm here. I suppose I could have actually just killed her to think about
Just say
it.
the word.
Ah, well. Sometimes it's nice not to be a complete and utter jackass for a change. I mean, it's nice to play like a more like ruthless character, because you can just say, yeah, I really don't like you, I'm going to just kill you right here, right now, stand still. But it's also nice to have the choice to go like, maybe I do feel sorry for the fact that you've been murdered and left in a basement for 500 years. Or the like. So... because if I fight the Banshee, it's going to be a pain. Right. Pirate. Merewith, that's her. Let's talk
Just
to her
say the
then.
word.
Merewith watches you through cuff-rimmed eyes. He puts a hand on the hilt of her blade, jingling the jewels that hang from her wrist. We don't know each other, stranger. Best you keep it that way. Someone at the old lighthouse in Odra's gift was looking for your ship. You don't seem like a Backenberry local. Let's go with that one. I'm a sailor to give you a half smile and a liberator of certain goods. Merewither casually fingers a large earring. And the nice thing about the snobs here is that they're usually too polite to ask me. Someone in the old lighthouse at Odra's gift was looking for your ship. I don't peg you for a liar, at least not from what I've heard. She looks you over, narrowing your eyes. But that doesn't mean I'll believe you. She leans in, her voice a low hiss. You better explain what gave you such an interesting notion. The last lighthouse keeper watched you from the ship every day. It's all in the log. It's the infamous Merewither, too scared to see for herself. Let's go with that one. Enough. Merewither drops her wine and drops a blade. Skilton will have to forgive me for the mess. That sucks. Merewither obviously had a personal connection to the lighthouse and then its last keeper, but she won't be visiting. I have to deal with the spirit another way. Okay, well, that sucks. I should have probably just sewn her the ledger. Well, you learn things, don't you? I always did like annoying people too much. Right. Get that out. Attack. Okay, that connected. That big guy's just teleported behind me. So you can go down the ground first, Sonny Jim. You can shoot him in the back. You can drop another one of these. Keep pounding on her, please. You knock the big guy down. You slip out your sword and go to town on him. You beat on him. You attack him. You two, actually, you could probably switch out to your hand axes and go to town. And you shoot him. Right. Who's this? Glaffen Soul Hunter leaves the stronghold. No, didn't tell me we had someone there.
Just say the word.
Right, so what did we have? Fine leather armor. Well, that sucked. We should have probably shown her the book. Oh dear. Lemaxtol water jug fashioned from white clay. Very nice.
Just say the word.
Monte digest. There's people in here. Obviously, had a personal connection to the lighthouse and at least its last keeper, but she won't be visiting. I'll have to deal with the spirit another way. Okay. Well, that didn't go as planned. Dang.
How do you do?
I'm just gonna have to straight up fight her, aren't I?
Just say the
well,
word.
exorcism it is then. Time to do some ghost busting and go like, well, I'm sorry when that you were heads and tails in love with and we murdered her. So, you know, that happens.
You've been on your own for 5 years,
I've had each month.
but you can't talk to him.
My standards changed around year 2.
Right, ghost busting it is. We'll do this the old-fashioned way and just beat her ass with a flaming claymore. But still, the power of religion, Paladin's bleak and unpleasant personality. Fearsome rumours persist of strange hooded figures emerging from the city's catacombs. City guard revises course from request of citizens keep alert. That's probably the main story. Right, let's get to the lighthouse. Once we deal with that, we can go back to doing some of the other things and just get a lot of stuff done. I know there's a lot of side quests in this game, but the problem is if you just do the main story mission, you miss out on so much of the lore, which is the thing that you play RPGs for.
Welcome.
I mean,
Just say the word.
you don't play a heavy RPG game like Pillars of Eternity and not do the side missions. Partly because you probably wouldn't be able to get halfway through the main story if you did. Right, let's get upstairs. We'll do a bit of an exorcism on her and banish her back to the void. And yes, this is... I could have probably been a bit more tactful about it. Stoic, aggressive, rational, yeah. She's going to get herself killed then. Let's go.
Just say the word. Just say the word.
Shrieking sobs pierce your ears and rattle as the musty rafters. The lighthouse, they emanate from a spectral figure of a woman hovering in the middle of the room. Forget about Merwith. She is lost to you now. Rage boils for the ghostly figure. She rushes towards you, its jaw wide. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. Well, it was going to be obvious that she was going to do that. I don't know why it was surprising. Right, let's give her warding seal. So what does it do? Generates a magical seal that explodes in a burst of electric energy when an enemy comes into contact with inflicting. Yeah, that's not what I want. Critical hits, lowering their melee accuracy. Yep. We'll do that to her. You can run up and punch her in the face. She's probably going to be resistant to it, in all honesty, because she is a ghost. Let's go. Yeah, Pen we know. Wailing Banshee. Aren't you all just lovely human beings? Deal with her, please. Dagnabbit, we missed. Okay. You guys over here really have to go. You punch him. Get out your sword and start chopping. You attack that spectre. See, popped an ability. He's out. That's not great. Ah, man, this is not going well. I should have just spared. Yeah. Come on, guys. Yeah, I really think I should not have killed her. I don't think I'm going to be able to get out of the situation, to be honest. She's just too nasty. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. Yeah, this is just. Like, he's got so many things on him, and I can't hit any of these guys. Terrified, dazed, flanked. Yeah. Okay. Let's try loading that. Well, that didn't go to plan. We can't fight her, I don't think. Right, did we have... This is the question. Where's the journal entry? Obviously had a link. Yeah, I may just have to search the lighthouse again, which is going to suck. Because I don't think I can beat her, unfortunately. So what I'll probably do is I don't know. I don't think I'm strong enough to beat her. There's just too many things. I could come back and do it later, I suppose. I'm a bit annoyed with myself, in honesty, that I killed the captain. So, yeah, probably what I'll do then is... Let's see... Try this one, perhaps. Perhaps the captain's not dead in that one. Bit of, like, save slumming. Is she dead? Yeah, personal connection to the lighthouse. We're going to have to go back to the beginning then. Because I just don't think I'm strong enough to beat the Banshee as I currently am. And I don't want to have to leave the quest hanging and then come... which is fine. I mean, what we'll do then is that we'll read one of the books. I know this is going to be a much shorter episode than normal. I suppose what I could do is actually that is something. Hold on. Well, this is what I decided to do, folks. I basically just paused the recording and got us back here, so we can get to here and talk to her. Don't tell me I forgot to talk to the... Yeah, okay, we're going to be going... Locals... I don't know if we can talk to... Right, okay, fine. So we're going to have to go back all the way back down to the lighthouse again, talk to the pirate captain and come back up. I'm not going to do that right now because that's going to be tedious and boring for you guys. So what instead I'm going to do is just going to read one of the books like we normally do, end the episode here. I know it's a lot shorter than normal, it's just I'm not feeling great today, folks. So I'm just going to read one of the books that we have in our inventory, and then I will get all the stuff like organised for the next episode, where we will basically then deal with this. So, the true story of the lands, the living lands. Only the hardiest of explorers would dare take a long, dangerous trek to the living lands, where there's no denying its beauty. The diversity of plant life alone is a herbalist dream, and inherent risk is blithely trekking through this pristine hill through these pristine hills is more than most should undertake. Let me take a moment to tell you about the land itself. The rolling hills, greenery and sun. The whole area feels like a succession of hills and valleys, while each with their own ecosystem. While the declaration is a tad extreme, it can also be said to be true. The combination of sun, geological location, proximity to fresh water, valley depth, and the existence of hot springs have given the living lands a wide breadth of fauna. Walking down a hillside into a valley and you'll find lush verdant hills. Clamber the next rise and you might see nothing but rock and boiling mineral springs. And the creatures, in my travels I've seen it all, and this place never ceases to amaze me. Trolls. I would never forget my encounter with the trolls of the living land. I had just narrowly avoided being consumed by a giant plant, more on that later, and was running as fast as I could to get away from it. I broke the crest of a hill, and the valley below was wide, green, wet, and covered with low, thick, branchy trees. Vines grew everywhere, between the trees, across the tops of them, down to the ground. It was a mass of vines and green. Cautiously, I walked my way down towards the basin, keeping my eye out for anything suspicious. And it's a good thing that I did so. I noticed not all the trees appeared to be trees. I froze, dropping to the ground in effect to minimize my appearance. One of the trees moved, lumbering slowly away from the cluster. It's then that I realized it was a troll stepping out from amongst the group of trees it had been resting against. With a few more steps, I would have walked into their home. The camouflage these trolls exhibited far exceeds any I had ever seen before. I hope to return in the future and observe them more. Insects. While I have never seen them, I have read reports of giant insects in the living lands. Centipedes, flies, mosquitoes and hornets, all 10 times the size you would see them elsewhere. Imagine making camp. You've just gotten everything set up. There's a nice fire going next to yourself. Something is gently simmering in a cooking pot. You sit down, finally feeling like you can relax after a trying day. You feel a tickle at your feet, instant and prolonged, reaching down to brush whatever is where you find your hand come into contact with something hard, long and flexible, winding its way around your boot. You look down to see a centipede the size of your arm casually making its way up over your feet towards the far side of the camp. You would get out of that camp, wouldn't you? That's exactly what my friend did when he realised he had started his fire over a centipede nest. Plants. And least we forget, do not let your guard down around the plants. I had discovered a wonderful collection of giant flowers. They were bright pink and grew in a circle around the central stalk. What an aroma! I lacked words to describe how delectable it was. Sweet, fruity, and light, with just a hint of something tangy. Looking closer, I saw some berries growing on the stalk in the centre of the flowers. Well, I just had to have them. So I started to push my way through the flowers. When the vines grew around the base of the plant began to twitch and the blooms turned towards me, it was at that moment I saw the blooms weren't actually flowers but hinged jaws. I had been fooled by its camouflage. I quickly retreated, pushing my way back out just in time. The blooms slammed shut. If I'd still been standing there trying in vain to reach the berries, I wouldn't be writing this book today. Right, so living lands are a dangerous place to visit, but we'll probably visit them anyway. And that's where we're going to end today, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's a rather short episode, but that's just how it is. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Pillars of Eternity. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Steam, or you can leave me in the comment section and I'll get back in contact with you. And for those of you who watch this, I thank you very much. It means a lot to see people enjoying my content, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.